anyway, you can share the agenda if you want, but we are recording. Happy April 27th, everybody. This is a meeting to check in on development tasks for Backdrift CMS, in particular the upcoming 1.7 release. So first item on the agenda, we have some big exciting news. The PMC has been working on an agreement with the Software Freedom Conservancy to be our fiscal and legal sponsor. And we don't have the complete details of that arrangement ironed out yet, but we did want to announce that we are working on that. And if you have any comments or concerns or feedback, you can send us an email, info@backdriftcms.org. But I would encourage anyone who's curious about this to check out the Conservancy's website. They're an organization that is particularly useful for open source projects where we're really good at managing code, but not so much at managing nonprofits. So they're going to take care of all of the details for us, which is fantastic. And they also have a lot of experience with the GPL in particular. So more information on that front as it happens, but we are still working out what exactly they're going to be providing for us. Okay, since our last meeting, there have been 4 new module releases. The POTX module, passphrase policy, feeds XPath parser, and MindMail, which I think just got an update, but still a lot happening in Contrib. Most importantly, though, we're here to focus on issues that will be in the 1.7 release, because today's meeting is the last meeting before code freeze, which will be on May 1st. And we have a bunch of progress on a bunch of stuff here that I'm going to turn over to Nate.
Yeah, so like Jen said, a couple more days until code freeze. May 1st is our code freeze day. So we've only got a little bit more time to complete a lot of functionality. But before we get into 1.7, we'll cover 1.6 real briefly. 1.6.4 is the next bug fix release. It's actually more a transliteration bug than a translation bug at 2637 that Olaf and Jeff are working on a solution to. Jeff, do you have any update that you would like to add? I haven't had a look at this issue.
Yeah, we've got a plausible solution. It just mounts to checking that it doesn't break other stuff, and it works with multiple languages. Excellent.
Awesome. Okay, well, looking forward to that one. And an item that we had from last week, which is there's an issue with the autocomplete that has some styling issues that make it so that we can't use autocomplete within a dialog. And this came up during 1.7 issue. That autocomplete style bug has been fixed now in 1.x. They're saying that we haven't put this back into 1.6. And I guess that is kind of a point that is open for discussion. Like, the issue only comes up if autocomplete is in a dialog. We don't have any autocompletes in core in dialogs in 1.6. So is this something that needs to actually be backported or not?
So there was one additional issue where right now, if you try and use the autocomplete dialog on mobile, the autocomplete list shows up like 200 pixels below the field you're autocompleting on. And that was also fixed in this commit. So
in vertical tabs, like if you're assigning an author.
Yep.
Well,
specifically mobile vertical tabs.
I guess like I don't think there's any substantial risk involved. Like, we did change the way that the autocomplete dialog or autocomplete pop-up is positioned. It's positioned fixed instead of relative now. But I don't think that it's hard-coded at the JavaScript layer. I don't think that that's something that can really be affected by themes. So I don't think there's any compatibility issue there. So I would say, sure, let's backport that. Jeff, you merged it into 1.x. Do you think you could get back to 1.6 too?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. The GitHub issue tracker for 1.64 includes a bunch of other issues. They're actually starting to really pile up in there. As we've been fixing and enhancing things in 1.x, we've been backporting a substantial number of them to 1.6 as well. However, with 1.7 only being a couple weeks away, I think that it's really likely that we'll just see 1.6.4 the same time as we see the 1.7.0 release come out. Let's see. Let's talk about 1.7.0. 1.7.0 is coming out. It's May 15th. And a bunch of features that we have called out here that we would like to get completed basically in the next couple of days. Some of these, actually, there might be room for fuzzing because we allow bug fixes and UX enhancements all the way up until the release date. So some of these ones, like the redesign of the status report that have a very almost impossible to actually break other things besides the status report itself impact, they not need to be completed by code freeze, or sorry, by feature freeze. So, so let's run through them here. Links to local paths. This makes it so that in the link dialog in CK Editor, when you want to link to a piece of content or link anywhere, you can now type in the URL, or you can also type in like the name of a node or a term or a layout or review, and it will autocomplete and expand that out. That functionality is now complete. It's been merged in. Hooray! Thank you, everybody, for working on that issue. It's one of those things that's like so small, like almost trivial, but like so useful. So awesome to see that one completed. Redesigning the status report as well as the update report is issue 485 and issue 2591. Both of these are coming along, and they're very, very close. I think that both of them are in a state they need review from a perspective, like just how do you like the status report now? And probably some CSS review would probably be appreciated there as well. Yeah, those would be great. Minor enhancements, those have had tons of iterations. I feel like we're really closing in on those. The next one, redesign the views UI. Redesign is an awfully bold statement. This is really more like bring the views UI in line with the 7 theme. Yeah, clean up. That's clean up and for consistency, because the views UI still kind of looks like Drupal 7, really. And now that we've had the 7 theme for a long time, and so making it look more like 7 would be a big improvement on the appearance of it. This pull request just got updated a day or two ago, and it needs some more review. Again, like kind of just design feedback, how we think that it looks, and then a CSS review. No code changes at all going on here, just, well, code as in CSS only changes. So more things that could use a designer's hand there. Apparently, like it looks so much better than what it had been previously. Functionality-wise, we've got a couple of issues related to layouts. The page element blocks issue is 1704. This one, Doc Wilmot has been leading the charge on, and it is very, 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 very close. I think we've got a couple of more people that have posted some feedback, including Gregory and Olaf, basically posting that the functionality itself works great, but they have some concerns around the user experience that we probably won't be able to change the way it works, but we can at least do a little bit of work to explain how things work a little bit better. And so I think like my review of it is that from a code perspective, it's done. I think that just those additions to descriptions and summaries that help explain how those blocks actually work is the only issue that I know of that needs to be addressed on those or on that pull request. So anyway, that feature is enormously powerful and would be fantastic, or will be fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and say that already. There's that one's a shoo-in at this point for the release. It's just a matter of how much polishing we want to do before we do the merge, in my opinion. Looking great. Layout relationships is issue 2134. Personally, I haven't had a chance to review this one, but we did have a reviewer come and try to assemble some functionality with the relationships, but ended up getting a PHP error with a certain set of circumstances. So thank you, Al Rosakov, for doing that review. So that one needs a little bit more work, but layout relationships would be super awesome and amazing to get that one completed as well. Looks like, okay, the layout relationship PR was never meant for inclusion in 1.7. It's way alpha. Actually, I was going to ask you for an update, Dr. Lamont, but should we not put a focus on that for 1.7, or should we try to complete it? Yeah, that's fine with a microphone. Just soliciting opinion. Not 1.7. Well, I think that we should probably listen to you. When the author says that's not ready, maybe we should probably not do it. But oh, that's too bad. Well, yeah, like Jen typed it back there. We love the feature though. Maybe I'll take another perusal through it if I get a chance, which I know I've been saying that for months, but it would be awesome to have completed. So, so maybe we'll take that one off the table. It is one of the ones that is furthest from completion. So potentially, oh, Jen just deleted it right out of the agenda. At risk, very large risk. Okay, let's keep rolling then. So port, is this one about to be moved around? Okay, port the views pane displays from 777. From panels really is what that means. Yeah. Is issue 2433. This capability makes it so that you could override views settings on block placement. So as you place a view that contains, place a block that contains a view, you could change settings on that view every single time you place the block. This functionality, I started working on at the end of the last release, and I don't think that it's seen a lot of activity. It's pretty far from being complete at this point. It's not functional even, like it doesn't actually work. So I'd probably say this one is also highly at risk. I think I've been preoccupied with reviewing pull requests. And I think that reviewing the code that is in progress is more of a priority to me, at least, than completing this one that is not yet even functional. So I think for this one to even stand a chance of being in the next release, we'll need a champion to come and pick that up. So 2433, looking for champions. Let's see. One feature, the last one that we have on here from the hit list for 1.7 is clipboard support for the rich text editor, which is 26. 30. There's been a lot of really excellent feedback on the issue. Thank you, everybody that's been doing testing on that. My take on that one is that it's ready. I've marked it RTBC, but because it's my own work, and I wish that we could get additional reviewers in there. But you know, I'm not going to stop doing work just because I'm a core committer. So that issue, I've marked RTBC, and if there's no other comments on it, I'll merge it on April 29th, or perhaps I get Jeff to merge it on April 29th. But that functionality is super cool. You can copy and paste and drag and drop from the desktop into CK Editor, and it will upload images asynchronously, so you can even continue editing copy and stuff like as the files are uploading. It's very cool. And it works perfectly with our custom image integration and everything. It's very neat. So that one's pretty much done. That's all of the items that we have for the main features that are slated for 1.7. There are a number of other issues that are also in 1.7. Some of them have been fixed and merged already. You can check out the entire list in the GitHub issue tracker. There's also probably a good, there's, gosh, I don't know, probably on the order of about 60 or 70 pull requests that are in the needs review state. And I've been doing my best to go through those as much as I can. I've even taken today and tomorrow off to kind of help clear out some of the code that needs review. But again, like a call out for help. If we can get peer reviews going on to actually review each other's work that's happening in the needs review queue and moving those towards RTBC, that would be a tremendous help to me to help clear out all of these pull requests that we have working. There's lots of great code out there, but it takes a lot of time for one person to go through and review all of them. There's also one RTBC issue, and that one will get merged today. That's it for the 1.7 status update. I'm optimistic. I think that we've got great functionality lined up for the 1.7 release, and most of these are so close that they're certain they will be completed. The ones that won't, or the ones that are less likely, I already mentioned those. But yeah, I'm really stoked. I think that we've got some great functionality lined up. The next item on the agenda is just general discussion and Q&A. If you guys have anything that we would like to elaborate on or bring up, now's the time. Nothing at all? Well, go team. We've got some work to do. Actually, but compared to other releases, I feel like this one is probably the most in hand, like as far as like, we have a pretty realistic set of features and functionality. Some of them have been completed. We're looking really solid. We did, of course, as we have done every single release, kind of have this giant, like, hurrah of excitement right at the tail end of code freeze, but that's the way software works.
Except for Chuck Wilmot, he's been working hard the whole time.
Yeah, actually, yeah, he completed a bunch of his features immediately after the release of 1.6. Yeah, so yeah, and Andy, you get super props for for being the most consistent contributor all the way through, but also putting in extra effort to facilitate us who procrastinate. Okay. I'm going to start naming our releases after contributors. Okay, well, there's some banter going on in the chat in here, but I don't think it's of consequence. I think that we're all complete for this meeting. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you guys in the issue queue. All right.
Everyone.
Thanks, guys.